Following the initial public offering of SpaceX, Elon Musk officially crossed a new threshold, becoming the world's first individual trillionaire. This timeline puts the scale of that number into perspective. If you were to spend $1 million every single day, it would take you 3,000 years to run out of $1 trillion. If you converted that net worth into a stack of 500 rupee notes, the pile would reach 10,000 miles high, stretching straight into space. Numbers of this magnitude break our ability to comprehend value. They naturally lead us to expect that the person holding them lives a life defined by physical luxury. But that expectation of luxury meets a very different reality at Musk's primary residence in Boca Chica, Texas. He lives in a small, prefabricated unit with a total footprint of just 400 square feet. It carries a total price tag of roughly $50,000. The simplicity is extreme. When his mother, Mae Musk, visited the property, she reported sleeping in the garage and finding an empty refrigerator. The world's first trillionaire living in a high-end shipping container creates a massive economic puzzle. To solve it, we have to look past the headline and examine how a trillion-dollar fortune is actually built. Net worth and liquid cash are two different mathematical realities. Musk doesn't have $1 trillion sitting in a bank account waiting for a withdrawal. This chart breaks down the components of his fortune. The vast majority of that 13-digit figure is locked inside of 42. Caper wealth itself is a theoretical figure. Because his net worth is almost entirely illiquid, his actual daily spending power is a fraction of what the headlines suggest. The milestone itself was triggered by a specific event, the record-breaking initial public offering of SpaceX. This scale shows a massive contradiction. The company carries a $2.2 trillion market value, yet its financial filings show a $9 billion operating deficit. Investors are looking past current losses and betting on the success of a future lunar economy and orbital AI infrastructure. This makes the entire trillion-dollar fortune fragile. A sudden change in investor sentiment or a market correction could erase hundreds of billions of dollars from his net worth in hours. At this tier, wealth represents the market's faith in a speculative future. It is a fortune that is built entirely on convincing the world to believe in technologies that do not yet exist. The internet processed this milestone through humor, with people using memes to compare their own bank accounts to the massive IPO numbers. But that humor sits alongside severe political anger. Critics point to the milestone as a symbol of global inequality, contrasting $1 trillion against the persistence of child poverty. Figures like Senator Elizabeth Warren argue the $1 trillion mark represents a systemic tax failure. From this perspective, the milestone proves the system allows for an impossible concentration of capital. The trillionaire label has become a societal lightning rod, focusing broad economic anxieties onto a single, highly visible target. This brings us back to the $50,000 house. Supporters see the tiny home as proof of a humble engineer who prioritizes work over luxury. A different perspective is found in this flowchart, illustrating the buy, borrow, die strategy. By using stock as collateral, Musk secures massive bank loans to fund his lifestyle. Since loans aren't classified as income, this provides untaxed spending power, removing the need for traditional cash. The trillionaire label is a media-driven mirage, but the underlying system grants Musk a level of structural power that makes the concept of a bank account irrelevant.